So I think I've found the best kept kitchen appliance secret ever. Well, maybe it's not a secret, but I've never owned one, and this is the Cosori 5.7 litre pressure cooker. I've worked with Cosori for years and years, and I didn't think anything would beat their air fryers, to be honest, but this might just be my new favourite thing I've ever had in the kitchen. So Cosori have kindly sponsored this video, and they've asked me to tell you all about the 5.7 litre 9-in-1 pressure cooker. So not only does it pressure cook, I'm actually going to put it down. Not only does it pressure cook, it sautés. You can cook rice in it. If you know me, I'm notoriously bad at cooking rice, and I spend a lot of money on the pre-packaged ones because I'm just so bad at it. This cooks rice for you. You can make cakes in it, you can do yogurt in it, and it's a slow cooker. So no need for two separate appliances anymore. This little compact thing does it all. It's got 9 different cooking methods. You can keep food warm for 12 hours after you finish cooking it. You can actually pre-prepare your food and then set this to come on 24 hours later. So you can do it all one day in the morning, pop everything in if you're going to make like a vegetable stew or something, set it to come on that next morning. All that aside, I cannot believe how fast it is. I have cooked things like sweet potatoes and lentils, which notoriously take about 45-50 minutes at best on the hob, in 5 minutes. Like literally 5. I really didn't believe the hype when people said these are just amazing. The speed in which they cook food and how tender it comes out as well. It's not just like dried to within an inch of its life. Because the lid is sealed, like no moisture escapes, it's all sort of pressured into it, I guess. I've got a link in the description box for the Cosori pressure cooker, so make sure to go and check that out. It's a really, really good price, and I really recommend it. Like I said, I think it's my new favourite kitchen appliance. It is going to help with so many things, from meal prepping. It's so simple and safe to use that all 3 of my teenagers can be trusted to have a go and maybe make some of their own meal prep meals. It's a really nice size. It's not like a massive thing that you've got to like find somewhere for. I already know I'm going to be making a ton of content on pressure cooker recipes and things you can cook in it. I'm really, really excited to share all that with you. So if you're going to buy one of these but you're not really sure what to make, then make sure you stick around on my channel and you can see all the different things I'm going to use it for, and we can experiment and play around a little bit. But for now, let's go and have a look at some of the things I've been making and how impressed I am with this appliance. So for this recipe, we're going to make a really quick and easy Moroccan chicken dish. This is a typical recipe to prove how fast you can cook in a pressure cooker. This is the kind of thing that I would sometimes slow cook, and it would be on for 8 hours a day. In the pressure cooker, we are looking at about 15 minutes with a little bit of prep time just for chopping. So I will leave all the ingredients typed out in the description box below this video, just in case you miss anything. But I've got about 1 kilo of chicken thigh fillets, and I've just sliced those into about 3 pieces. 4 small potatoes that I've just peeled and sliced into wedges. We're going to need some salt and pepper, about 4 tablespoons of orange juice. I've got 1 whole lemon sliced up, and then a really large carrot that I've peeled and chopped. I've got about 25 olives in here. Obviously you don't have to be exact, but that's what I've got. I've got 4 cloves of garlic and a cube of ginger. I'm really sad I've run out of my cubes of garlic. I just find them so much easier. It took me so long to chop the garlic compared to just throwing in a frozen cube. And I get mine from Farm Foods, in case you're wondering. I've got some almonds to put on the top afterwards. And the recipe actually calls for dried apricots. I've got some cranberries and raisins because I don't have apricots, and I thought I might as well pop those in. Any kind of mixed fruit would do well. 1 really large onion that I've just sliced up, along with 250 ml of chicken stock. So what I've done is just put 1 chicken stock cube in some boiling water, like 250 ml. So it's like almost double strength. And then for the spices, so in here I've got 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika. I've got a teaspoon each of turmeric and cumin, and then I've got half a teaspoon of cinnamon and half a teaspoon of hot chili powder. You could use chili flakes or normal chili powder, and that's what I'm going to be using. So the first thing we're going to do is start off with popping a little bit of oil in the bottom of our pressure cooker, and I'm going to saute off the onions, and that's why I love it, because we can do all of this in one pot. So the first thing we are going to do is press our saute button, and I'm going to start off at 10 minutes because that's probably roughly what we're going to use. Just hit start, and it's telling me now that we are preheating. So we are still preheating, but I just want to show you, if I attempt to take off the lid, it actually stops preheating and tells me that the lid's not secure, so you can't accidentally start the cooker with the lid off. As soon as we seal it again, we're carrying on cooking. I think it's fantastic, such a good safety measure. So I'm just going to add a little bit of oil. And I'm going to pop my onions in here. And I'm just going to saute those for 2 or 3 minutes. So after about 2 minutes, I'm going to add in my garlic and ginger. It's smelling so good. I'm going to pop in my spices. I'm going to go in now with my orange juice, chicken stock. I've just seasoned my chicken with a little salt and pepper, so I'm going to pop that in now as well. I'm going to give that a really good stir. We've got our olives, our mixed fruit, carrot, and the last thing I'm going to do is lay over my potatoes. Just going to go in with a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay, now I'm going to pop my lid on. We're going to select pressure cook, and then we are going to choose high. So you can go low or high. So I'm going to set this to 10 minutes, and we're going to press start. So now the pressure has built up, my countdown has begun, so this is going to take about 10 minutes. I can't believe that those potatoes and that chicken and carrots will be cooked in 10 minutes. It has been preheating for a little while, so you do have to bear that in mind. And then over the back here, there's a little float valve, that little silver thing, which I'm not going to touch. That lets us know that the pressure has built up completely. You don't really need to pay attention to that because it tells you all electronically on the front. But that is the float valve, and then when the pressure is released after cooking, that will drop again. You've got a switch here which is either vent or seal. Obviously you have to have it on seal for cooking, and then when you finish you can allow the steam to vent naturally, or if you want it a little bit quicker you can switch it over to vent. You just got to be really careful to steer clear of this whole area at the back because that's where the steam shoots out. And yeah, I'm just going to give it, where we go, 9 minutes, and we'll see where we get to. So you've got 3 ways to release the pressure on the pressure cooker. You've got natural release, which means at the end of your cooking time, the steam will just gradually be released into the air. You've got quick release, which means you can just use your vent here and open it up and the steam will shoot out. You've also got a timed natural release, which means you can basically leave the seal shut for a few minutes and then open it. That's the one I'm going to do today. Like I said, I'm new to this, and apparently if I had turned the keep warm function off before I started cooking, it would have done a natural release, but because I didn't turn keep warm off, it's going to wait for me to tell it to release because it's keeping the food warm. So we live and learn. Next time I'll possibly turn that off and let it do it itself. But it's sat for about 5 minutes now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to release it myself. So I'm a bit nervous of this, but apparently that little thing will drop down and the air will shoot out of the top, the steam. So here we go. Oh, okay, it's not like you have to have it like, it's not going to fly out. Oh, I don't know if my plant's going to like that. Not sure the plant's enjoying that. And that is basically all the pressure being released. Once it's released, that will drop and then we can open up. It's really steaming up my windows. So as you can see, the valve has now dropped, which means that we are safe to open our lid. Oh wow, I cannot believe how quickly that cooked. That looks and smells amazing. So I've used a slotted spoon, removed the majority of the ingredients into a serving dish, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of corn flour, so about 2 teaspoons mixed with a tiny bit of water, into our lovely sauce. And that's still piping hot. So we're just going to give that a stir, and that will thicken up the juices. They're thickening really quickly because it's still so hot. And then that's our beautiful gravy that I'm going to pour over the top of our chicken. So I've just sprinkled over some flaked almonds and some coriander. And there we have our pressure cooker Moroccan chicken. You could serve this with rice or couscous or a nice big chunk of bread to dip in. The sauce is really nice and thick now. Tastes absolutely amazing and really quick and simple to do. So I've removed my inner basket. It is dishwasher safe if you put it on the top rack, but like with my air fryer, I prefer to hand wash things. It just makes them last that bit longer and it just protects them really, because dishwashers are really harsh. So finished cooking, I've wiped out the inside with a damp cloth and dried it thoroughly. You never want to get this bit submerged in water at all. The other bit I've hand washed. And what I wanted to show you as well is when you're taking your lid off and you're not sure where to put it. So you see the little bit that juts out here, that just slots into this little space here and it holds your lid. So you don't have to put it down on the counter. This is not a hinge. Do not try and shut it because you will snap it. It is purely for holding the lid if you don't want to put it down. You can just slot it in there for safekeeping while you're stirring and while you're adding your ingredients, and then you can take it out and pop it on. Please do not just try and shut it because it's not a hinge and you'll break your pressure cooker. So I was quite skeptical at first, but yes, you can cook a whole chicken in your pressure cooker. This is a 3.3 pound or 1.56 kilo chicken, serves 4 people generously, and apparently the actual cooking time of this is going to be about 20 minutes. Obviously you're going to allow 15 minutes for the steam to release afterwards, but this said cooking time on the packet of 1 hour 40 minutes, so it's going to drastically cut that down, and apparently it's going to be melt in your mouth, tender, fall off the bone, and it's all in one pot and you don't have to switch your oven on, which again is a bonus. So this one calls for very little ingredients. Obviously you want your chicken. I've got some butter, there's probably about 2 tablespoons there, and I'm just going to warm that up slightly. In here I've got 2 teaspoons each of garlic granules, onion granules and mixed herbs, and I've also got a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of black pepper. We've got a lemon for the carcass and about 250 ml of boiling water with a chicken stock cube. So there are several methods to this one. You can start off by sauteing your chicken first. I'm going to pop mine straight in. I think this part just depends on whether you eat the skin or not. Now we've got a little trivet that comes with your pressure cooker, and I'm just going to stand that inside, and I'm going to add my stock to the bottom of the pan. And that's going to build up our steam, and that's what's going to cook our chicken. So I've got my spice mix here. I'm going to squeeze half of my lemon into my spice mix. It doesn't matter if the seeds go in, because this is just going to end up making a really nice sauce. So I'm going to pop my lemon inside the carcass of the chicken with the other half a lemon, and then I'm just going to add my melted butter to my spices, and I'm just going to stir this around. And we can save these juices and make the best gravy afterwards. So once you've mixed them all together, we're just going to take our chicken. I'm going to sit it inside there like that. Obviously make sure you get a chicken that you can fit in your pot. And this is the messy job, but you kind of want to separate the skin a little bit. And I'm going to try and squeeze some of this right down. I'm doing it here so I can show you, but obviously you could do this before you put it in. I'm going to squeeze about half the mixture, push it down under the skin, getting right down there, and the rest of the mixture I'm just going to pop on the top, a little bit on the legs. It smells so good already, and all it is like garlic and herb. And we are going to set this to pressure cook on high. I'm going to give it 20 minutes. Mine is 3.3 pound, and then we're going to let it release naturally for 15 minutes afterwards. So I'm going to make sure I turn off the keep warm function. In place. We're going to press pressure cook, and we're going to go for 20 minutes, and then we're going to have it on high pressure there. I'm going to turn off the keep warm function, so just press that once and it turns it off, and we're going to start. And there is our chicken all cooked. I cannot believe you can do a whole chicken in here. So I'm going to get it out and show you. So we are completely cooked, as you can see under there. It's literally so tender. I'm absolutely amazed. I really was not sure this was going to work. So what I am going to do now, this is optional. I just need to take a bit off of that and just show you. It's literally falling off the bone. What I'm going to do now is, the skin's kind of split open a bit because I was a bit heavy-handed with it, but I'm going to pop this under the grill just to crisp it up a little bit, and then we've got those really nice juices in here which I'm going to turn into a sauce. So here's our chicken after it's been grilled. We've got really nice crispy garlic and butter sort of seasoning, And I'm going to leave that on while I slice it. While that's resting, we're going to make some really nice creamy mashed potatoes in our pressure cooker. And I'm also going to show you how to turn those juices into a really nice sauce. So we are now going to use our pressure cooker to transform all this lovely chicken juice into a really nice gravy to go with our chicken. What I'm going to do now is remove this layer of oil that you can see on the top. If I was going to do this overnight, sorry about the dishwasher, if I was going to do this overnight, I would pop it in the fridge and then this layer would become solid and you can just take it off with a fork. But I want to get this on the go now. So what I'm going to do is remove that layer just with a spoon. I'm going to set the pressure cooker to saute and we're going to put some butter and flour in, add our liquid back in and make a really nice chickeny gravy. And then I'm going to show you how to make the best fluffy pressure cooker mashed potatoes. So I'm going to add in about 3 spoons of butter. Actually, like fake Lurpak, Aldi version. So I'm going to give that a stir. How cute are these little utensils that come with the pressure cooker? I've still got all the nice, like, I've still got all the bits from the chicken on the bottom, so we can kind of deglaze the bottom with the butter and get all those nice crispy flavourings. Once our butter is melted, I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of flour. Going to whisk that together. And then to that we are going to add in all of our lovely juices. I'm just going to give that a stir, keeping it on the saute mode. And it's starting to thicken already. And then we're going to have the best, really nice chicken flavoured gravy. And we can pour that over our chicken and our mash. I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper. I don't think it needs any salt. And there you go, you've got a lovely, thick, perfect sauce to go over the chicken. So for the mashed potatoes, I'm just going to pop my peeled and cubed potatoes straight into the bottom. I've done about 8 small potatoes, which is roughly about 1 kilo, like half a bag. Then I'm just going to cover these just about with water. And we're going to add about ½ a teaspoon of salt. On our lid. There are so many different settings on here. You can pressure cook, rice, steam, cake, oatmeal and porridge, stews and broths, beans and grains, meat and poultry. You can saute, yogurt, sous vide. But for today I just want to show you the pure pressure cooking methods. So again, I'm just going to click pressure cook and I think we're going to go in with about 8 minutes to start with, and then again I want it on high pressure. I'm going to take the keep warm function off so we can release the pressure afterwards. Press start, and that's it for now. So our 8 minutes is up and I'm going to go ahead and quick release my pressure. So I'm just going to push my switch to vent. So these have come out so soft in only 8 minutes and I haven't had to wait for the water to boil or anything. So what I'm going to do now is add loads of black pepper. I'm going to add in a few garlic granules. This is optional, but I love garlicky mash. Basically whatever it is you enjoy in your mashed potato. So another butter. I'm also going to go in with a splash of oat milk because it's so creamy. And then I'm going to mash. I have got a potato ricer, but these are so soft that I really don't think I'm going to need it. I just had to pop on while I was editing this because when I gave this mashed potato to one of my sons, he actually said, "This is the best mash I've ever tasted and I don't know what you've done to it." And I said to him, I really wish I'd caught that on camera. It would have been absolutely perfect. My husband also agreed that it was just different to how we normally have it, and I'm not quite sure why, but they said it was kind of like softer somehow. I suppose it's just because of the pressure you cook the potatoes under. So this is my definite go-to method for mashed potatoes from now on. We've got a lovely coating on the chicken, which is really tender. If you can hear snorkeling, it's the dog hoovering everything up off the floor. My kitchen is in chaos at the moment. That sauce is to die for. If you've got sauce left over, highly recommend popping it in a soup or using it as a pasta sauce, and it'd go really well on a steak as well. This is my pressure cooker chicken and mashed potatoes. potatoes with creamy gravy. So if you know me, you'll know one of my favourite things to eat in the world other than salad is soup. So I'm going to make a sweet potato and red lentil chilli soup. So the recipe calls for 2 large sweet potatoes, so I think that's roughly what I've got. I'm going to use 1 large red onion diced. Swirling around in there, we've got some vegetable stock, about 1.2 litres. I've got a tin of chickpeas and a tin of chopped tomatoes, and my tomatoes are the ones with peppers and chilli in them. 200 grams of red lentils, 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. I will type all this out in the description box below this video as well. I've got about 4 cloves of chopped garlic. Again, I'm really missing my frozen garlic. Then in here we've got 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of ground coriander, and 1 teaspoon of hot chilli. Obviously, tone down the chilli if you're not a chilli fan. We're going to start off with some sauteing. You know how it works by now. And add a little bit of vegetable oil. I love the way it gets hot straight away. First off, I'm going to add in my red onion. I'm going to give that 2 or 3 minutes and then add my other bits. Next up, I'm going to add in my garlic and my spices. I'm going to pop in my sweet potato, lentils, my vegetable stock, chickpeas, chopped tomatoes. And last but not least, I'm going to do 2 tablespoons, roughly, of tomato puree. So 1, 2. And give that a stir. And then I'm going to cook this on high pressure for 5 minutes, and then we're going to check it. And I can't quite believe this will be done in 5 minutes, but apparently that's how long it's going to take. So the recipe did say that after 5 minutes, take half of this out and blitz it, and then add it back in so that you've got a really nice thick stew. But I really don't think you need to. This is a really nice consistency, and I will put some in a bowl just to show you. But I'm so impressed with how fast I was able to make this, especially sweet potato and red lentil. They usually take absolutely ages to cook. So I've got loads and loads of portions for that, which I'm really happy about. So I've just added some shredded coconut, some red chilli flakes and some fresh coriander. Seasoned it with salt and pepper, and I'm going to serve it with a really nice chunk of sourdough bread. If you have watched my channel before, you will know I am notoriously bad at cooking rice. I can just never get it right. It's always either too mushy or sticks together, and I end up spending a fortune buying the pre-made rices, like the microwave ones, the boil in the bag. I have got better at it, but apparently it is foolproof in this pressure cooker. So there is actually a rice button. So what I've been told is that you just use 1 cup of rice to 1 cup of water, so equal parts. So I'm just going to use like our cups, which are mugs, if that makes sense. But just as long as they're equal parts, it really doesn't matter apparently. So we're going to give it a go. So I'm going to go in with 2 of my little French Bulldog cups of rice and exactly the same amount of water. And then we're just going to press the rice setting, and hopefully it'll come out perfectly. So 12 minutes, and then I just let it natural release, and the rice is done perfectly. This is going to save so much time, and more importantly so much money, because my son takes chicken and rice every day, as well as Steve does sometimes. He'll be able to do this himself because it's like foolproof. It's literally equal parts rice, water, and you just press rice. You can't really go wrong. So yeah, I'm really impressed with that. Really happy. So that is it for this video. I'm literally cradling it like it's my baby. I hope you've enjoyed it, and maybe it's shown you a little bit of the kind of thing you can do with a Cosori pressure cooker. So like I said, all the details will be in the description box below this video. Click on the link and you can get yourself one of these. I really recommend it. I think it's going to be my new favourite thing, and probably one of the most used things in my kitchen, to be honest. Thank you to Cosori for sponsoring this video, and I'll be back really soon with another one. Take care, guys.
Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too.